Stand by to launch FanStream Sports.
3, 2, 1. Let's start.
Hello, sports fans. Welcome to FanStream Sports. Nothing but pure sports. This is the JP Show.
JP, it is so good to hear you back on the air.
Stand by. Now, here's JP.
All right, welcome into a Hump Day edition of the JP Peterson Show as we come to you live from our beautiful new studio here at Kingmakers in South Tampa. And we got lots to get to today. Yeah, baby. We got Bucs practice from last night to tell you all about. Yeah, the defense is impressing in this camp, and I think that's the major story through the first week. No question about that. So we'll get to that. TJ Rives is going to join us at 11 o'clock, and he was there with me last night at the night practice. A lot of interesting things going on at the night practice. Paul Stewart's going to join us at 10:30 from across the pond. He has finalized his all-time Bucs roster for buckpower.com. See if you agree with all the starters and the backups. Lots to discuss there and debate, especially at the quarterback position. We'll talk a little bit about the history of the Bucs and the 50th anniversary. Always fun to catch up with Paul. And we're going to talk a lot of Rays baseball today. A lot of Rays baseball. And I expect something's going to go down during this show. Something's got just a prediction. So Tim Ham, our good friend there at our beautiful Dallas FanStream Sports studio. How are you this afternoon? Morning for you.
Morning for me. Good morning, Petermans. JP, do you think by any chance Paul Stewart has the great punter Tom Blanchard on his all-time Bucs list?
Tom Blanchard? No.
Yeah.
I think we actually did punters last week. I don't know.
From the early days of the Bucs.
Yeah. No, I think Mark Royals has to be as one of the starters just because of his hair alone. That's just that is all-time 50th anniversary hair. So we'll see where he goes in a lot of different aspects, but I'm interested. You know, the 50th anniversary brings up a lot of fun stuff as we think of the history of the team. And he's putting up some clips today. He said 50 years ago today, I believe it was, the Bucs first hit the field for their first preseason game.
Oh, wow.
So this was like the real first day 50 years ago today. How about that?
Where do you think Garo Yepremian is on the all-time kickers
First
list?
of all, it's Garo. It's not Garo.
It was Garo when he was in Miami.
It was never Garo.
It's what
ever
Tom
in the history
called
of
him all
Garo
the time.
No, Tom Brookshire. No, you are wrong. You are 1,000%. You're talking to a guy who grew up and can still name the entire 72 Miami Dolphins team. So no, it was never Garo. It was never Garo. It was Garo. Jiminy Christmas with the greatest pass in the history of the Super Bowl that I kept the Bucs from having the first shutout, or the Dolphins from having the first, and I believe would have been the only shutout in the history of the Super Bowl because there's never been one, right?
If he wouldn't have thrown that pass and botched it the way that he did, you realize not only did the Dolphins go 17-0, they would have won that game 17-0.
That's right. If
would have been the score.
That's right. That is correct.
How crazy is that? And Garo Yepremian screwed it up.
Sacrilege, bro. Garo Yepremian. I got a chance to meet a few times in my life, and the dude was like yay tall. So anyway, got a big show for you to get to. So away we go. Smash that like button, subscribe, do all that stuff. And if you want to super chat us, you can do that on YouTube, super chat us. And there's a QR code down left of the screen if you'd like to throw in some money and support the show and independent journalism here, because you need to do that, right? That's what we need to do.
We're all independents. We're all in this together.
Thank you, guys. All right. So last night I'm watching get back from the Bucs practice, and I'm catching up on the Rays game, watching the Rays game. First of all, I saw Evan there last night. We're all just laughing about, did you see Morrell in the cleanup spot in the 4-hole? We're all just, what the hell is going on? It just makes zero sense. And of course, first inning against Fried, we get two guys on, and who's coming up? Your boy, Morrell. Strikeout. I'm not even competitive. Strikeout.
wasn't even competitive.
Strikes out 3 times last night. His first 3 times he strikes out. And then in the 8th, with 2 on, key point of the game, great comeback going on for the Rays. 2 on, 4 guys on the bench, all left-handers, or three left-handers and a switch. We're not going to pinch hit for Morel in this situation with a right-hander on the mound. What? Like, what? And you know what? I would have loved to see him strike out and get the golden sombrero for the 4th time, because that would have been 1 out. Well, what does he do? He hits one off the handle to shortstop for the easiest double play of the game. 4 at-bats. Dude makes 5 outs. You can't make this shit up.
Which Make-A-Wish kid got to set the lineup?
I left, I don't know, 8 runners on? Who knows? That's what happens when you put him in the effing cleanup spot. I understand he's a right-hander, has some power. He's been hitting the ball hard lately, but I think has 2 hits in his last 30 at-bats, some ridiculous number. But he hit the ball hard. He hit a long foul ball last night. Yeah. That counts for a strike. I mean, and you leave him in, and then Johnny DeLuca comes up and you pinch hit for him. The guy that already tripled in the game. Who's been hot. Like, what? What?
DeLuca had a good defensive game, too. He had a great catch out in center field.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he saved the game on Monday night. Saved the game. What are we doing? Like, what sense does it? There's no analytics on his planet that says you should be batting that guy in the 4 hole. He shouldn't be playing. And you put him in the 4 hole at Yankee Stadium. I mean, what? And what happens? He comes up in clutch situations and strikes out. Just a gaping hole right in the middle of your lineup. What sense does that make? And then, of course, we got to bring Kevin Kelly in again, who's given up runs in 4 of his last 6 appearances and 3 in a row. Make it 4 in a row as he gives up. And again, his fate would have it. The 3-1 pitch was outside, and he gets a break on Volpe. And instead of Volpe walking, he's got to come back for the 3-2 pitch, which he then deposits in center field for the longest home run of his career, 450 feet. Thank you. Thank you, Kevin Kelly, for participating again. You suck. You were awful. But we're going to keep putting him out there in crucial situations, Kevin Cash. I know he doesn't have a lot of great options, but that's not an option. That's not an option when you're in the game. First of all, there's no reason this dude is still on the roster. There's absolutely no reason for him still to be on this roster. He's garbage. And he needs to go. And both him and Morel both need to go. And here we are in the midst of a pennant race, so to speak.
Yeah.
Still, just 2.5 games out of the wild card. Every game is freaking crucial. And we're putting Morel in the 4 hole and still bringing Kevin Kelly in. Now, here's the thing. I don't understand what Kevin Cash is doing. And I sure would like Ryan Bass or Mark Topkin or somebody to ask some managerial questions after the game like that. It's not disrespectful. You know why? Mostly because normally Kevin answers it and has thought of something that I did not think of. And I go, oh, okay, that's why he did it. So I'm waiting. Like, there's got to be a reason. Got to be a reason he didn't pinch hit for Morel there. I want to know what it is. Somebody has to ask him this question. Nope. Somebody's got to ask him why he's in the 4 hole. Anybody? Nope. Okay.
Why doesn't that happen? Why don't people ask him questions?
We're doing post-game shows, everybody on Twitter. I mean, there's 1,000 people on Twitter like going nuts over the fact that Morel hit. Like, I mean, I pay attention to Twitter during my show because I miss things, and I'm sure you miss things. I mean, Brian's doing a lot of different things, but these are the reporters that, Topkin is there to ask the questions. There's not many people that cover this team on a night, especially on the road, but the ones that do need to be asking these questions immediately after the game. Not being disrespectful. We just want to know. You're a baseball reporter. You saw it. You had to scratch your head. I know Mark knows the game. Why not? Where's the question? And so I look at all these things that are happening. It's been happening for far too long, frankly. And last night, another sloppy game. Caballero with an error. Fortes, his first game, comes up, throws the ball into left field, costs us a run. This is not baseball that's going to get you into the playoffs.
No.
And, for Kevin Cash, listen, I've been a huge Cash fan forever. I think he does more with less than anybody in baseball. But these last year's team was a sloppy mess, and that's on him. That's on him. The culture was bad. It was a sloppy mess. Some of it's on him. There's some, things that come from above, and maybe more than we know, like these lineups, that he doesn't have control over. I'd sure like to know. That's why I want to ask the question. Skip, why'd you put Morel in the 4-hole? I want to know. You have a good reason? Sure. And either lie to me and tell me it's something you thought of, or say, I got, two nerds in their mom's basement that made today's lineup. And so go ask them.
That sick kid in the hospital made my lineup for me.
I don't know. It just tell me. I'd rather hear that, frankly, than nothing at all. It just makes no, and Morel batting in that spot and then pinch hitting Simpson for none of that stuff makes any sense at all.
Yeah. And
I know Cash knows baseball better than that. I know he does. So what the hell is going on? What the hell is going on? There's some video yesterday of Taj Bradley who was shagging balls in the outfield, and a fan told him about the Danny Jansen trade, and he just shook his head and just because the pitchers didn't want to lose Danny Jansen, even though we're upgrading supposedly with this new catcher. Jansen was more than just a catcher. He was a guy that righted the culture in this clubhouse. And there are just a lot of weird stuff going on that I don't understand. And it just brings me back, and I know a lot of you are going to say, of course, you're going to blame it on Stu. Of course you are. Well, frankly, the whole mess that they're in with the stadium and all that, we've talked about this ad nauseum. I'm not going to go into it. That's on Stu. That stadium should have been replaced a long time ago before the roof blew off. So all this stuff that and the elongated stadium process, that is on Stu Sternberg. This team should have been in a stadium in Tampa 5 years ago or 3 years ago. And that would have solved a lot of problems for this franchise, a ton of problems. And any other owner would have done it, would have had this deal done a long time ago. So all of this dysfunction is right at the feet of Stu Sternberg. And we can go into a billion things that he has done wrong. And yes, the team has won games in the regular season. They've gone to a couple World Series, not won it. Obviously, he gets credit for that, but there's so much more that could have been done and should have been done. And having a stadium that fans like to go to that's accessible is a pretty important deal. Yeah. Having an owner that you can support and actually puts money into payroll is a big deal. And that hasn't been him. So as long as he's around and pulling strings, then I'm going to put it at the feet of him. And if you want to give him credit for all the winning, then he's got to take the heat for last year and this year. Fair? Fair?
Yeah, absolutely.
So, you guys can jump in here and give me your thoughts. I put some stuff out on Twitter last night, and I got more responses than maybe ever about Cash. And I brought this up. I think it's very interesting because I know Joe Madden has some ties to this new Tampa group that's taking over loosely, but ties. Bringing back Joe Madden as the manager. He wants to manage again. And Kevin Cash may, his shelf life may have, it may be over.
He's not managing like he wants to keep his job.
No, he sure isn't.
To be honest with you.
He sure isn't. No, it's not. And it was interesting. I think it was kind of mixed. I'm going to go through some of the comments. 31 comments when I put it up. I basically said, Another absolutely brutal Rays baseball loss full of head-scratching managerial decisions and sloppy baseball. I've always been a huge Kevin Cash fan, but he's had a tough couple seasons. So raise up Twitter. How you feel about Joe Madden coming back? Please discuss. Peace said in a heartbeat. Thomas Casper said managers need talent. Gator said no, Cash is fine. Trevor Clark said he'd have a better instinct about things, and we only lost the World Series under him because it took, 2-3 days to finish a game because of the frozen rain. True. Brian Smith said he had a good run. Alex Summers says, I've wanted Joe back since the day he left. Bring him back any day. Danny Boy Kane says, this one hurts, JP, because we let this game get away. This was a game the Rays should have won and didn't. Oh, and please get Christopher Morel off the team. My God, he's terrible. Douglas Batista said, we would welcome Joe back. Cardinagator said, love the idea. Cash only knows how to manage what a computer tells him what to do. Mr. Mojo said, no thanks. Cash is the man. The ownership can't change. Ownership change can't happen fast enough. Imagine what Cash Snyder can do with resources. Totally agree. Totally agree. That's why I have a hard time putting this on Kevin Cash as much as I just did. Yeah. I just don't think it's him. I think it's Stu or something coming from above that's like, we got to get Morel out there in situations and maybe we can get something for him because I totally effed up this Paredes deal. I get it, but at some point, which to me was about 2 months ago, you got to move on. You effed up. It happens. Your wins are way more than your losses, Eric Neander. Just, you're a great general manager. Sometimes you miss. This was a whiff, a big one. But there's still plenty of talent here to work with. Don't make it worse. Cut your losses. Call Jason Light. He'll tell you all about that. And maybe and I have a feeling maybe it's not coming from Neander. Maybe it's coming from above Neander. Because it doesn't make sense. None of it makes sense.
No. It's baffling. It's baffling. So
I would say, of all the 31 comments, I'd say 60%, 70% were like, yeah. So, and I'm not here to push Cash out the door. Cash may want to leave. I don't know. I would like to see Cash and Neander work with this new ownership group and more money. And I think we'd see a lot better results. So I'm again, I'm not pushing Cash out the door and not asking him to be removed. But I would, if I was the new owners, I would definitely have Joe Madden in my organization. I think Joe Madden has a great feel for the balance between analytics and real baseball men. And I think that's what this team needs. I think we've become far too reliant on analytics. And we need some baseball men back in the front office here and with a little bit more balance away from analytics. And a little bit more towards baseball and baseball knowledge, the humanness of the game. I think we've tipped the wrong way. And I think this new group might feel that way as well. So, love to get your thoughts. Animal, first time I've seen you in there. Love your avatar there. Madden would be great to bring back. And he said, I think we need to fire the pitching coach. No. Kyle Snyder's the best in the business. He's really, really good. Daniel Rivera says, Cash, and I mentioned this many years ago, reminds me of Tony Dungy when he was here. Go to the regular season, but not getting it done when it matters in the postseason. Interesting. And true. Yeah. And we can talk. There have been some major decisions by Kevin Cash in the postseason that have not worked out, Blake Snell. And it wasn't just Blake Snell. So there's more. So, yeah. Brandon Weed says, not sure what Morel has on Cash this year, but he definitely has something on him. One day down the road, we will find out. Maybe Morel sucks.
Naked pictures of his wife.
Call up his numbers right now, Timmy, if you could.
Morel?
Yeah. Just to underscore what we all know with our eyes. It's just brutal. Craig Kurtzman says, where is the fire for Cash to come out and stand up for his guys? Yeah. During a losing streak, sometimes you have to do something different. Yeah. we've seen this in a couple of instances. Tito, when they were with the Reds, he was on the ass to some of these umpires. I know with challenges now and all these things, it's not like it used to be for managers to get out and do stuff. But at some point, you got to get a little fire going. And this team is slumbering through a critical point, and we haven't seen Cash throw a chair yet. Now he may have done it in private. I don't know, but we haven't heard about it. We haven't seen it. And at some point, there needs to be some demonstrative fire out there, and you look at the interviews, you look at the way it's just like, where's at some point, there's got to be a kick in the ass, especially when you're playing like this crap. And sometimes sending messages, and I know this isn't Cash's way because he doesn't do it. And that's, every manager does it differently. But sometimes you need to send some messages through the media and say, this sloppy ass baseball is not going to be tolerated. We need to be better. It was Shane Baz in the outfield. You're right, Craig. My bad. Thank you for the correction there. Not Taj, because Taj obviously isn't here. Got my 3-letter names mixed up there. My bad.
What do you want to know about Morel's stats?
Just the whole thing. Give it to me, all of it.
Batting .205 through 70 games, 7 home runs, 19 ribbies, with an OPS of 655.
Yeah, that's not good. It's terrible.
No.
That's terrible. James Rexroad said the Johnny DeLuca got pinch hit for when he got a 2-run triple.
Yeah.
And is a great fielder. Yeah. Make it make sense, man. Make it make sense.
DeLuca seems like the kind of player you don't pinch hit, right? You want him in the lineup as much as possible.
No. That's the guy. I mean, and you had a lot of guys on the bench ready to go.
Yeah.
And what do those guys think? Like, you're sitting in the bench, like, oh, here I come. This is my spot right here. I'm going to get ready. Wait, they're going to let this guy bat? Seriously? Remember, like a month and a half ago, you pinch hit Morel for a Ronda. Remember that? And I think Ronda was hitting like 256 against lefties, and Morel was hitting like 134 with no power. I mean, like, what analytic tells you that that's a good move? And if you're Jonathan Aranda headed for the All-Star game, this guy's pinch hitting for me? Are you effing out of your mind? I mean, what if you're a player on this team and you see what Cash is doing, do you not just go like Shane Baz did, shake your head and just go, what the F? What are we doing? And Leander talked to the media yesterday, and there were some quotes in here from Topkin's article. He said, I'm working a tightrope in terms of weighing the deadline deals. And I think there's some interesting quotes in here. Mark Topkin's article. Did you hear me say Mark Topkin's name? Did you hear me? Hear what I did there? It's called attribution, Mark. Should try it. Coming off the White Sox and Reds series, this is Neander. I got a lot of calls came in. You've got to pick up the phone. You got to answer them and hear what people have to say. That's the job. You have to consider their interest and understand the markets, and then you make determinations from there. He says, where the difficult part is the balancing act. He says, there are a few considerations that you can't lose sight of. Our record is our record. We had some highs this year. We had some lows, the recent lows being the one we felt most. You just feel like the bottom is falling out and it's never going to stop. Wow. And that's kind of how it feels right now when you're watching the Rays every night. He continued, if we had this low at the beginning of the year and then our good stretch right now, you'd feel differently. So you try to just kind of get your emotions in order. You try to create an emotionless and best a sense of what the team is capable of this year and weigh that against strengthening yourselves for the future. Yeah, I mean, I see that. He said a lot of this is belief in the group, Neander said. How do you give them the best chance by also doing right by the bigger picture of the organization? That's the big question you ask. So, yeah, I think it is a very interesting situation. He said, for the record, that this is with the impending sale, this is no different. The situation that they're dealing with now, which is he's working in a constrained budget, cannot add significant payroll. That's every year, which is sad. I mean, think about this. If you were an owner being pushed out by Major League Baseball and just absolutely being flambéed, not just by JP Peterson, but by everybody else now in the market and around baseball, and this is your last go round, and you got a team that could be good and maybe has some guys coming back from injury and went 25-9 in a stretch, and you're making a $1.7 billion profit on the sale of your team. Wouldn't you just want to say, you know what? F it. Let's go spend some money and see if we can do something on my way out. Wouldn't you? If you had an ounce of competitive juices in your body and it wasn't just all about making every penny you could possibly make, wouldn't you? Wouldn't you just want to say, you know what, Eric? Let's go get somebody. In fact, let's go get a couple people. We got a shit ton of prospects, man, from last year. Let's gather them up and just, I know maybe we should be sellers, but what the F? Let's just go for it. That's my last go round here. I mean, and you're talking about an expenditure of, you only got to pay a third of the salary of these players, and then you're dumping in the hands of the next group.
Yeah.
I mean, if you had an ounce of competitive juice, wouldn't you do that? Wouldn't you? How much money is enough, bro? You gonna count it when you get back to New York? Put it in stacks on the desk? You're gonna take a bath in it? Like, what are you gonna do with it? I mean, don't you want to lift a trophy? Isn't that the best way to go out? Win a World Series and have Manfred have to hand you the trophy, the guy that forced you to sell the team? Wouldn't you want to do that? I would. With every fiber of my being. With every fiber of my being, I would want to do that. What do you think is going to happen in these next 48 hours? I think he's going to make every penny he could possibly make. And maybe I'm wrong. Hopefully you're listening to this, Stu, and said, you know what? I'm going to make that bastard wrong. I'm going to go spend some money. Good. I can't wait to come on here tomorrow and say I was wrong. But if you follow his brand and what he's done his entire career as an owner, it's salary dump time.
Yeah, why would he change that now? What would be the motivation to change that now?
Well, if you were competitive and you really cared about winning and you had 1 ounce of it in your body, that's what you would do on the way out.
Yeah.
But nah.
But he's never done that.
Are you kidding me? I can make an extra 10 million here. And then, I could either spend an extra 20 or make an extra 10. That's 30 million. I need more. I only got 1.7 billion in profit on this deal. I need more. Good. We'll see. But my gut says, sell, Mortimer, sell. All right, we're going to take a break. We'll come back on the other side. Paul Stewart is ready and waiting in the bullpen across the pond. And we are going to reveal, I think he already did it on his website, but we're going to reveal here on the JP Peterson Show for the first time the complete all-time 50th anniversary roster of your Tampa Bay Buccaneers with the official historian of the Bucs, Paul Stewart. So we are brought to you by Jeeves Law Group, JEEVES lawgroup.com. Get a free consultation from any of your legal issues by going to jeeveslawgroup.com. They're local, they are trusted, and they get results. Non-attorney spokesman, offices Tampa and St. Pete. Great community folks there at the Jeeves Law Group. And, of course, OnSiteConstructionFL.com. OnSite Construction is the firm that will come out to your house, give you a free consultation as well. Jason Fawcett, the owner, will come out himself and look at your house and say, this is what you could do here. You could do this. You could do that. And also, you get on the preferred client list. So if there's a hurricane or major damage to your home and you don't have to go searching for a contractor and maybe have to hire somebody you don't know and you don't trust, that's why you do this. You call them now and you get on the preferred client list. OnSiteConstructionFL.com. Tell Jason that JP sent you. Back in 3. Stay with us. Although it may seem tempting to go without healthcare insurance, the financial risk far outweighs the gain you may experience. For example, did you know if you simply broke your leg, it could cost you nearly $7,500? Put on top of that a hospital stay, you could be looking at $10,000 to $15,000. Ensuring that you don't go uncovered is so important, as according to CNBC, high medical bills are the highest contributing factor to why Americans end up taking money out of their retirement savings, or worse, find themselves filing bankruptcy. So go to don'tgouncovered.com or call 800-669-1505. Now, depending on your income, you can get plans for zero premium. Our experts will guide you through the process effortlessly. They will shop many plans and find the one that's right for you. I called and I have full health coverage through Florida Blue for zero monthly premium. It's a free call. So why go uncovered? It's a huge risk. Go to don'tgouncovered.com or call 800-669-1505. That's 800-669-1505. Spring means a time of renewal and Rays baseball, and the folks at Italiano Insurance want to welcome the Rays to Tampa and remind you it's time to renew those insurance policies with the now famous Italiano Insurance Checkup. Let the experienced and friendly agents shop your policy for the best price and coverage. Famous for saving me over $1,000 on our auto insurance last year and over $500 on our homeowners. Now that's a grand slam. Might as well get a double play by adding flood insurance and business insurance to your portfolio. Costs less than you think, and trust me, you do not want to risk your home or personal wealth. That's a big whiff. So step up to the plate and call 813-877-7799 and chat with the all-star agents at Italiano Insurance. 813-877-7799 or go to ItalianoInsurance.com. Go Rays! JP here for Riveters, our new official sports bar and grill of the JP Peterson Show. And just like our show, no BS, no corporate chain feel, just amazing, authentic folks serving great comfort food in a casual atmosphere at unheard of prices. Riveters is located just south of Raymond James and Steinbrenner Field on Dale Mabry, walking distance to the park, so free parking, great place for pregame and postgame. Let's talk about fresh food. Nothing is frozen. Burgers, wings, prime rib, roasted fresh daily, never frozen. That makes a huge difference. The mahi, the salmon, also super fresh. All our sauces are original recipes made in-house. Our Warhawk chili and fully loaded potato soup is made fresh in-house. It's the best food anywhere, served by people who actually care. Riveters on Dale Mabry, just north of 275, just south of where the Bucs and Rays play. We'll see you there. Are you looking to renovate your home, rebuild after the hurricanes, or build your dream home from scratch? Well, let me tell you about my friend Jason Fawcett and On-Site Construction. They have over 1,450 satisfied clients, 25 years of experience, over 500 designs, and a talented team of over 40 construction professionals. They believe building something exceptional begins by truly focusing on all the details, even the smallest ones. We understand that construction can be a daunting process, and we're here to make it as smooth and stress-free as possible. Quality is non-negotiable at On-Site Construction. We use the finest materials, employ the most skilled tradespeople, and adhere to the highest industry standards to deliver a product we're proud of and that you're going to love. Our project management is meticulous with a focus on completing projects on time and on budget. Your happiness is our primary driver. So give us a call at 813-579-5789 or check out our incredible website at onsiteconstructionfl.com. Are you having legal issues with a business partner or other legal business issues? The attorneys at Walters, Levine & DeGrave can help. Call 800-616-0384 for a free consultation. At Walters, Levine & DeGrave, we've redefined what a law firm can be with top-tier attorneys, personal service, and 26 years of success. From business law to civil litigation, we deliver smart, client-focused solutions. Walters, Levine & DeGrave recently won a $6.4 million jury verdict from a large real estate developer, and they can win for you too. Walters, Levine & DeGrave. Let's solve it together. Not attorney spokesman. For a free consultation, call 800-616-0384 or go to walterslevine.com. Offices Tampa, Sarasota.
Let's go.
Right now, back to the show on FanStream Sports.
All right, welcome back to the JP Peterson Show, brought to you by the great folks at Riveters. We'll be doing a Rays watch party on Friday night, 5 to 7 o'clock. So all you Petermans, we want to see you. I'm going to reserve a couple of tables up front there for the show, and then we're going to hang out and watch the Rays and the Dodgers because we're ham and eggers and we can't afford the $200 tickets to get into the game. Christmas. Good to see, though. High demand. So come on down to join us at Riveters, and you can do that each and every day. It's Wing Wednesday, by the way. You get 5 wings for $5. I mean, $1 a wing. Like this is like the back in the 1980s. So head on over to Riveters, and I think I'm going to go get me some wings today. Happy hour is a great deal.
I'm jealous.
And the buffalo chicken the spread is fantastic, and then the shrimp, and it's fantastic. Go ahead on over to Riveters and get the new high microbrew that they have as well.
You got to have one of those for me, JP, since I won't be there.
Man, I'll have a couple of them. And the lovely Ashley is coming too.
Well, she can have one for me too.
Yeah.
She's probably gonna have the sour, and chicks dig the sour.
I bet she'll have the sour. She'll definitely try the sour. Absolutely. So yeah, come on down and join us. You guys put in the comments if you're coming to join us, so I'll know how many tables to get. So all you guys in there, and we see there's a lot of new names. Joel Forsland. Yeah. What's up, JP? There he is. Yeah, right. Welcome aboard, my friend. Love it. A lot of new guys in here. There's Tom. Go Bucs. Haven't seen him in here before. So good to see you all. We're adding more people each and every day. All right, let's welcome in the man, the myth, the official historian of your Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He is all the way across the pond, the great Paul Stewart. What's up, Paul? How are you, my friend?
Very good afternoon to you, Tim. Very good afternoon, JP. I won't be able to join you at Riveters on Sunday, but I have been there. I was there when I came over in March. Love the place. Thought it's fantastic.
Awesome. It's got such a great vibe. Love it. The staff is fantastic. All right. So you were just telling me 50 years ago today was the first time the Bucs ever hit the field?
Tomorrow is the anniversary. 31st of July, 1976, the Bucs played a pre-season game against the LA Rams in the old Coliseum, where John McKay, of course, used to coach USC for all those years. And they lost 26-3. They kicked a field goal. Pete Ruchecki kicked an 18-yard field goal at the end of the first half. And yet, Buccaneer football began. And I'll have highlights and clips from that game on Buck Power tomorrow morning.
Did you say an 18-yard field goal?
Yeah, it was right on the goal line. They couldn't say
that's like the shortest possible field goal you can kick.
I know.
So you're saying we didn't have a lot of faith in our offense?
Yeah, they were down the 1 yard line just as first half expired. They got down to the goal line again in the second half with a good friend of ours, Parnell Dickerson, playing quarterback, but they fumbled it at the goal line, and that was the end of the scoring for the Bucs in that game.
We got video of Parnell playing?
I do. I have that. Parnell made one start that season against Miami, and about a year ago, I was able to get clips of it for him, which, I've been promising for years I was going to try and track down some highlights, and I got them. So, yeah, and also, don't forget, JP, Parnell Dickinson is a very, very good golfer, as you and I well know.
Yes, he can play. He's a stick, as we call it, yeah. And he's still around all the games. He's the NFL rep there at the game to make sure all the guys have their socks pulled up. So it's a good gig.
He is. I got to play golf with him 18 months ago with him and Barry Smith and Steve DeBerg, and Paydirt's a really good guy. And yeah, he was an expansion draft pick. He was a 7th round pick in 1976, and he played, made one start and got injured. But yeah, he's an expansion Buck, and like you say, he's still involved with the franchise today.
Who took the first snap? Was it Spurrier?
Yes, Steve Spurrier started the quarterback. It was a handoff to Jimmy DeBose, who gained 2 yards. I actually have the game book, the official stats on Buck Power as well. Wow.
Yeah, it's a great website. All right, so TJ is going to join us at the end of your performance, by the way, just to give you hell for this. It's for the omissions, errors and omissions on this team, according to him. But I think this is a very well, obviously very well. He's
coming into a guitar solo right at the end of the show. Typical TJ.
Well, let's get into it. And Tim, I don't know if you can pop this up. Just go to buckpower.com /alltime.htm, and we could see the actual pictures here. So where do you want to start? You want to start with the offense at the top?
You go through. I mean, have a look through. We can go through the roster. So what I've done is this goes through all 50 years of Buccaneer football, because the Bucs have done like an online poll, and it's more of a marketing exercise to get email addresses. I understood that. And a lot of people are just putting current players because that's all they know. They're recent converts to the Bucs. Now, when you go back, I mean, JP, you've been involved with the Bucs for 25, 30 years. You've been involved.
28 years. Yeah.
Yeah. So, if you go back all the time, I've got every Buccaneer game possible on hard drive. I've watched them all. The only people who can really go back and do these all-time rosters are probably myself, Ira Kaufman, Jerry Johnston, and Scott Smith, who works the Bucs. 3 of those 4 people work for the Tampa Tribune. What does that tell you about that great paper?
It tells you they needed a new job. Yeah. And the wrong paper won. All right. So at left tackle, you got Paul Gruber and Donald Penn. Okay.
Donald Penn's backing up. So what I've done for the 2 positions is I've got the 2 starting tackles are Paul Gruber and Tristan Wirfs. I don't think there's any issue with that. The starting tackles, the backups behind them, Donald Penn, because he's the funniest, most reliable, toughest, loyal person you could ever want to meet, and he knows where I live. And then you've got Dave Rives, who was the mainstay of the first 8 seasons of Buccaneer football. The tackle positions really do speak for themselves. And if you go to this roster page, I've got explanations for all the positions on what I've done and why I've done them.
Okay, cool. Excellent. All right, so at the guard positions, we have Ali Marpet and Davin Joseph. Fully concur there. Fully concur. I can't.
The only guards who've made the Pro Bowl for the Buccaneers. Backing them up, I've had to go with someone we've both worked with on air for many years, Ian Beckles. And I've brought Randy Grimes in, even though he was primarily a centre. He was drafted as a guard, and we get to the centre position. It's so overloaded with talent. I've got Randy in the roster at that position.
I like the picture of Ian too. That's way that's early. That is that late 80s, early 90s. I like it. Excellent.
He was a draft pick. He was a 4th round pick in 1990 or 5th round pick in 1990. He spent 7 years with the Bucs, and so you and I have spent many hours on air with him.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, we did some stuff at Channel 8. Absolutely. Tony Mayberry at center. Yeah, what did he make? Three Pro Bowls, Tony Mayberry?
Two Pro Bowls. His very last game in the NFL was a Pro Bowl. Something I've just actually noticed, Ian Beckles looks like the guy from Predator who went around with Jesse Ventura.
I'll let you deal with that, partner. Not me. He said that, Ian, not me. Ryan Jensen, too, Big Red.
And you have to have Ryan Jensen behind him. Those 2 really speak for themselves. The Bucs have had some great centers. Steve Wilson played 9 years. The position doesn't even get in the roster in there. Then you've got Jeff Fain. And, the Bucs really have been loaded at center over the years. But Mayberry and Jensen, I think that's a no-brainer.
Yeah, Fain was a Pro Bowler with the Saints. I don't know. Did he make a Pro Bowl with the Bucs?
No, he didn't.
I don't think so. Okay. All right, let's move on to tight end. Jimmy Giles, obviously, is the starter. Dave Moore is number 2. Dave played how many years for the Buccaneers?
He played 13 years in total.
13 years.
Came in 92, missed 2 Super Bowl years, came back. And again, his last ever game was also a Pro Bowl because Sean Payton named him to the Pro Bowl team as his special team long snapper. So Dave got to be in a Pro Bowl at the end. There's also a 3rd tight end. Rob Gronkowski makes the roster as a 3rd spot in that situation. But again, you can't really look at numbers. So this is why Dave might not have the numbers of a Cameron Brate, but the game has changed. But what Dave meant to the franchise, he has to be in this roster.
Yeah, I think, we'll have this discussion in the quarterback room as well. When it's Tom Brady or Gronk, I mean, they're all-timers, and they played for the Bucs, and they won a Super Bowl. So it's hard to keep them out, but in your criteria, longevity was, I'm guessing, and and also Dave as a longtime broadcaster, I know that's not on the field, but it's part of the organization, and I think that should be factored in. And I'm guessing you did.
Exactly, and again, Dave knows where I live, and I do want to go fishing with him on the boat one day, so I've got to include him somewhere. But yeah, what you've got to remember is you're only looking at what Rob Gronkowski did in his 2 years with the Bucs. You're not looking at everything else. It's just their time with the Bucs. Otherwise, you'd be including the likes of Tim Brown and Steve Young. We're not including them because they didn't do very much with the Bucs. They went on to success with other franchises.
Right, or had it before. Absolutely, I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
All right, wide receiver, Mike Evans, obviously, at the top of the list, and Mark Carrier. Tell the folks more. I mean, we know what Mike is, but tell the folks more about Mark Carrier and some of the terrible quarterbacks he played with.
Well, yeah, Mark was a 3rd round pick in 1987. He had the first 200-yard receiving game in Bucs history, and he did it from Vinny Testaverde. in Vinny's first start in New Orleans. Mark was also had a 1,400-yard season in '89 when he went to the Pro Bowl, but only as a replacement, which was a real travesty. First Bucs wide receiver to go to a Pro Bowl. When he left the Bucs after 7 seasons, he owned every receiving yardage record in the book. Now, again, you could say that Chris Godwin's got more numbers, but the game has changed in 30 years. So what Carrier did really is truly amazing, and he deserves to be the starter. Chris Godwin, definitely the first backup to them. Kevin House, first deep threat in Buccaneer history. And I've also got Joey Galloway as another wide receiver. So they're 5 wide receivers. Vincent Jackson, the late VJ, doesn't make the team, it's a close decision. And Keyshawn, well, no, he only makes the roster in his own mind. He was the biggest locker room cancer in team history.
Yeah. If we had that, we would award it. Absolutely. He would get the number 1 spot there. Locker room cancer. And Kevin House was huge as well. All right, running backs, James Wilder and Doug Martin. Doug Martin over Warwick Dunn. Ooh.
No, it's James Wilder and Mike Allstott are the 2 starters.
Okay, yeah, I'm sorry, yeah.
And then the 3 backups are Doug Martin, Michael Pittman, and Warwick Dunn. So Doug had 2 1,000-yard seasons and 2 of the biggest games in Bucs history when you look at that. And Michael Pittman has got huge receiving numbers. So Mike Allstott goes, he's a franchise legend. He's in the Ring of Honor. He's probably the notional fullback. The best true fullback in Bucs history was a guy called Adger Armstrong, who did all the blocking for James Wilder. His nickname was Lead Dog. That was his job, was to give Wilder all his big runs. So if you're going to have a pure fullback, you would take Armstrong, but Allstott gets the nod in this situation. James Wilder, best running back in Bucs history, not even close. When you look at what he did in 83, 84, and 85, it's staggering.
Yeah, and the amount of carries and the abuse that guy took is just unmatched. He deserves it just for that and playing on that team. Yeah. All right, the quarterbacks, you got Doug Williams over Tom Brady. Ooh.
I know. Now, you need to hear me out on the reason behind it. We talked about this back at the Valspar a few months ago. It's not just on numbers. It's what they meant to the franchise. And if you go, what Doug Williams meant to the Bucs from 78 to 82 was everything. Every player I've talked to from that roster, the late Leroy Selman, Batman Wood, Mark Cotney, Kevin House, Jimmy Giles, they've all said, we followed Doug. He was the leader of that team and nothing happened without him, which is why the Bucs made 3 playoffs in 4 years. You can't look at numbers because in those days it was handed off on first down, handed off on second down. Okay, Doug, 3rd and 10, try and hit Kevin or Jimmy. So the franchise went to pot when Doug left because of Hugh Culverhouse. Brady, he's the GOAT. He's the greatest player in NFL history. He won a Super Bowl. But for this franchise, for this roster, I think Doug Williams was more important to the Bucs than that. Shoot me down, guys. Your turn.
Listen, I'm going to agree with you. I'm going to agree with you. I think Doug, from a historical perspective, and the Buccaneers, it's he brought the first success to this team, the first credibility to this team, the only credibility for till 1997, quite frankly. And that's who knows if the Bucs would have even been here if they hadn't at least gone to a few playoffs when the stadium deal was up. So I don't know. I tend to agree with you. And Brady. It's hard to argue anything against Brady, except that, he had a couple good years. The 3rd year was a disaster. Let's not forget that. Yep. And it felt like a very mercenary type deal. And I think being second to Doug because of that is right there. And of course you gave a honorable mention to Brad Johnson, a Super Bowl winning quarterback. So I'm with you on that.
Yeah, Brad over Baker for the number 3 quarterback, because to say Brad won the Super Bowl. But I don't knock everything Brady did. There's a picture of me with 2 Super Bowl trophies up there behind me, thanks to Tom Brady. I've got no problem with that. But as I said, I will go Doug over Tom, even though I know most historical Buccaneer fans, recent Buccaneer fans will not go that way. Doug was everything to the franchise in those years.
Yeah, totally agree. All right, let's go to the defense if we can, and we'll start at defensive end. And Leroy Selman and Simeon Rice are the starters, with Jason Pierre-Paul and Greg Spires. Yes, and the Crane. I love it. Yeah, those 4. I think you nailed it right there, partner.
Yeah, I mean, the Spires one was interesting because he was a huge part of the Super Bowl win. I know Chidi Hanatu seems to think he deserves to be in the Ring of Honor and he's one of the greatest players in Buccaneer history. Unfortunately, that's in his own mind. He would be an honourable mention to those people. But it's Leroy and Simeon, and then you go from there. But as I say, Leroy's the first name on any list when you talk about the history of the Buccaneers.
Yeah, and Sim may or may not get into the Hall of Fame, but his numbers certainly stack up with some of the guys that are in there. So we'll see. All right, defensive tackles, Warren Sapp and Gerald McCoy. I would have put Vita Vea over McCoy, but tell me your reason for giving me for putting McCoy in there.
Okay, G-Mac had 6 straight Pro Bowls while the Bucs were terrible, with Lovie Smith and Dirk Cutter and the coach who shall not be named. If you've made 6 Pro Bowls when the team is that bad, the other players around the NFL must really think you're something special. And Gerald McCoy was. He was a tremendous defensive tackle, a great player. And again, he's become a big part of the media now as well. So I've got him over Vita at the moment because McCoy was the better pass rusher. Vita's pure backup, deserves to be there. And same with Dave Pear. Dave Pear was the first Buccaneer Pro Bowler in 1978. It wasn't Leroy Selman, it was Dave Pear. Now, he's been fighting a lot of health issues in recent years. So that's the 4. Anthony McFarland, again, honourable mention behind those 4.
Gotcha. No Brad Culpepper? Come on now. Come on.
I know.
Right.
I can actually, I've got a really good story I can tell you about Brad, which I hope he doesn't mind me telling. It was back in '94. I was at a Clearwater Bucs meeting with a young friend of mine who was about 9 years old at the time. And he asked Brad a question. And he said, Brad, what is it like to sack a quarterback? And Brad said, it's the second greatest feeling in the world. And then he realised what the next question was going to be from a 9-year-old. So what's the best feeling in the world? Ask your parents. It was a classic moment. Brad was good. He came over to me afterwards and he just said to me, Paul, I am so sorry I've dropped you in there with that one. Great story. Brad Culpepper, legend.
Oh, my God. Nice one. All right, outside linebackers, we got the great Derek Brooks, no-brainer, and Shaq Barrett. Shaq Barrett ahead of Hugh Green. Interesting.
Yeah,
your thoughts on that?
Yeah, Shaq owns the single-season sack record for the Buccaneers. That gets him a huge advantage. Hugh Green was a tremendous Buccaneer. He was a top draft pick in 1981. For 3 years, he was fantastic. And then injuries started to take its toll. In 85, he was so disillusioned with the way the Bucs were going, as many of us were, and he forced a trade to Miami, brought us back first and second round picks, both of which were wasted, and his career really fizzled out in South Florida. So if he could have carried on playing the way he did in the first 3 years, it'd be a no-brainer here. But Shaq gets the nod simply for the way he played in the Super Bowl season. Cecil Johnson is the other right side linebacker. Great part of the early Buccaneer defenses. Tremendous pass coverage. And the trivia fact I told you last time, his brother played drums for KC in the Sunshine Band.
Yeah, well, that nails it down right there. Absolutely.
Right,
inside linebackers, Hardy Nickerson and Levante David are the starters. And I don't think you can. Batman Wood certainly may have pushed those two, but I think Hardy, even though it wasn't a super long career here with the Bucs, he I think is largely given credit for changing the culture here. With Tony, when Tony Dungy came in, he was the culture setter coming in from the highly respected Steelers and changing the culture. And I think that's a huge part of the history. Is that fair?
Totally correct. Played 7 years with the Buccaneers. His final game was the 99 championship game. Multiple Pro Bowls. And like you said, changed the attitude. Shelton Qualls backs him up because Shelton knows where I live.
Yeah. And Q was phenomenal in taking over for Hardy. Yeah, he was really good. He was he was a huge key to that cover too, because he was so athletic, he could run the middle. And
exactly. I remember doing a game on British TV where one of the few times I used a telestrator on live television, and I was diagramming how Shelton took out the middle zone, and having a middle linebacker who could do that was the key to the Tampa 2 defense.
Yeah, absolutely. And the great Batman Wood, who I love his cameo in the video the Bucs put out for the jersey. Really, really good stuff. And the corners, we got Rondé Barber and Ricky Reynolds. Donnie Abraham may have pushed Ricky for that starting spot, but Yeah, I would agree with that. And then Mike Washington. Tell us a little bit about Mike Washington.
Well, Mike Washington is the reason I'm a Bucs fan, because the first game I ever saw on British television was highlights of the Monday night game against Miami in 1982. Mike had an interception right at the end of that game. If he hadn't have made that interception, I'd be doing dolphinpower.com now and talking on South Florida television. So Mike found out about this. He's passed away now. He thought it was the blame for me being the all-time Buccaneer historian. He was a great man.
And Ricky Reynolds, who's done a lot of TV here for Fox 13, great dude, a great guy in the community, always has been, was a really, really good corner for some bad teams as well.
Yeah, first round pick in 1987, played 7 years for the franchise and deserved a lot more recognition than he got.
Absolutely. All right, and the safeties, John Lynch and Antoine Winfield Jr., backed up by Mark Cotney and Cedric Brown. Again, Mark Cotney is a name that a lot of people still remember, one of the big hitters of his day, and Cedric Brown, another really good player back in the day.
Yeah, the two of them started together for many seasons. Mark's nickname was Captain Crunch. And I've got signed pictures from both of them on the wall behind me, both really nice people. So, yeah, Lynch has to start, and Antoine Winfield's done enough the last few years. You couldn't put Mark or Cedric ahead. You couldn't put one of them in and not the other. So they're both going to be backups in this situation.
Love it. Love it. No Scott Brantley for the linebackers. I know that was probably one of the old timers that everybody would love to see in there, but I don't know who he would replace there with Batman Wood and Shelton Core. Maybe Shelton. I don't know. But
I can tell you a good Scott Brantley story back from working on another radio station in the late 90s that Tom Connolly knew about. Is that I was in studio going to do a show. I think it was a 4 o'clock show. 2 minutes to 4, no sign of Scott. And I'm thinking, how the hell am I going to do this on my own? I can't do this. Suddenly, door opens, in comes Scott, throws down a hunting jacket, some sort of rifle, 2 dead animals, puts them on the side, walks across, puts his headphones on. Welcome to the Scott Brantley Show with Paul Stewart, and these dead animals stayed in the corner of the studio for the hour of the show.
What animals are we talking about here?
I don't know, but they smell terrible.
You don't know?
I didn't want to go near them. It was just a great Scott Brantley story. I know he's got a little bit better health-wise, but yeah, Scott was a really great guy. He also had the biggest hit in Buccaneer history when he almost decapitated Eric Hipple of the Lions in a game in 1985. Oh. I've got that one on buckpower.com as well.
That has to be the greatest hit in Buck history.
It is. It's that one, and then one by Jeff Davis. Jeff Davis had one, I think. Well, no, it's Irvin Randall. Irvin Randall had NFL Hit of the Year one year, but Scott Brantley's hit was amazing. An amazing. Hipple only missed one play. He came back in.
How about that? He got up from that?
Yeah, somehow. I don't think they were doing concussion tests on the sideline in those days.
All right, a couple of comments we have here. Flash Gordon says Ron Hall was a great tight end, as Cameron Brake could run block too. He's easily the Bucs' second best Buccaneers tight end. Ron Hall.
Fourth or fifth best. Ron passed away many years ago. When he went to the University of Hawaii, he used to famously walk across hot coals as his party trick.
All right, what else we got here as far as Dunn over Pittman as well? I agree with that one, but I'm a little biased.
Dunn and Pittman are both backups. It's Doug Martin, Warwick Dunn, and Michael Pittman, the 3 backups on the starters.
I might have put Warwick Dunn in instead of Doug Martin. In fact, I definitely.
Well, he's in the same part of the roster, JP. You can't take out Wilder and all starters though.
Okay, I agree. I'll give you that. What else we got? Flash Gordon says, I thought Doug Martin's problem was nightlife. Yeah, him and Josh Freeman both. Yeah. Joel Forsland says, Fat Josh Freeman is the greatest quarterback in Bucs history.
He's one of the nicest people. I've done a lot of work with Josh Freeman. One of the nicest people you could ever want to meet.
Williams was the glue, said Christopher Cole. Yeah. I would agree with that. Absolutely. Right. Animal says Cecil the Diesel. He's a longtime Bucs fan.
Yes.
What else? Kenneth McClary says, I disagree with the Doug Williams and Tom Brady pick. Without Tom Brady, we don't go to the 2020 Super Bowl, much less win it. and we're about a bad defensive call away from a possible repeat.
Yeah, I understand.
Fair, but I still think the historical significance gives the nod to Doug. I agree with you.
I think, Kenny, you need to come down to Riveters to meet JP and I and discuss it in person.
Absolutely. We'll have a beer over it for sure. Thomas Casper says Knapp is the greatest player in Buck history. Nobody is even close.
Leroy Selman.
Derek Brooks, Rondé Barber.
Alvin Harper.
Alvin Harper.
I did, a few years ago, I did a list of the 50 worst Buccaneer players, and it was all based on attitude and draft picks. So I had Keyshawn at 19, it was the fair point, and had Alvin Harper as the number 2 worst player in Buccaneer history.
Oh, poor Alvin. I used to do a show with Alvin Harper when he was a Cowboy.
All right, partner. Any other historical notes? Any other things you got coming up on buckpower.com? I don't know why TJ was supposed to jump in here, and there he is.
Yeah.
He's here. Oh, he's here. I didn't see him a minute ago.
Tomorrow I'll be starting the On This Day in Buccaneer History, and we do the clip from the Rams game from 76. So yeah, I put all the great clips from Buccaneer history, one every day. I'll probably even have one during the year of TJ Rives trying to catch a pass from Leonard Fournette on the sideline in Germany in 2019.
What's up, TJ? How are you, Buck sideline guy?
I came in to upgrade the program here after the last 30 minutes.
Somebody has to.
I mean, the warm-up act has been on stage long enough. Let's get to the real stuff here.
All I know is that 2 of the people on this show have kicked your backside at golf, TJ.
Well, let's just say this. There hasn't been a recent match, and things might be a little bit different. So bring it. It's Ryder Cup year. Ryder Cup year.
Ryder Cup year. Let's get the match. You're bringing your clubs this time, Paul, when you come over?
You need to.
I think I might have to. We'll have to have a game then. I'll get hold of Rondé, and me and Rondé can take on you two.
Let me get this straight. You put Doug Williams in front of Tom Brady. Do I understand that off stage?
This is correct.
Yes, yes.
When is the
I agree with him.
When is the last urinalysis that you've had? Because you are aware that the 2 greatest seasons back to back in Buccaneer history are not authored by Doug Williams. Correct?
A different time.
It was a different time, but facts are facts. You're aware that the 2 greatest seasons the Buccaneers had are authored and engineered by the guy that eventually was wearing number 12 after Doug Williams wore number 12, Tom Brady we're talking about, right?
Talking to you, Paul.
I have already won by first round knockout because Paul Stewart has nothing to say, which is completely out of character.
I'm shocked.
No, I'm just letting you have the limelight for your guitar solo for once, TJ.
Okay. On the basis of, leadership, social impact, there is no doubt that Doug deserves recognition and deserves to be in the Ring of Honor. I'm not saying that.
Yeah.
But my God, we're not going to compare the two's accomplishments while putting the uniform on. One wore the orange, one wore the pewter and red.
Well, if we're doing an all NFL, all Patriots, then yeah, Brady gets the nod.
All NFL is no contest.
But if it's Buccaneers and significance to the history of the team, Brady was a mercenary and Doug was a founder. He was a founding father of the
Johnson
team.
over both of them.
you put Brad Johnson over both of them,
over
Tim?
Both of them.
On stage.
Yeah.
I would put you're going to make a case for Trent Dilfer at this point as well?
Oh, my God.
He won
he's a friend of mine. And
Vinny
I want him on my
Testaverde?
goal team because he still plays off scratch.
I know. Dilfer did win a Super Bowl elsewhere, along with Doug.
Yeah.
So did Brady.
Yeah, that's true. He won a bunch of them elsewhere.
Yeah.
I'm looking at things like 30% completion percentage in his career with the Buccaneers in the playoffs. I'm looking at a 3 for 12 NFC Championship game with an interception.
Go to buckpower.com and get the stats.
That's, by the way,
cannot compare numbers. The game.
I think it was raining that day, by the way.
By the way, I got the stats from buckpower.com, but carry on, as you like to say. Carry on. Doug Williams
No,
had
the
an
game has changed over those years, TJ.
Yeah, right.
When
Doug
Doug
Williams.
was a success,
Doug
you
Williams
were
again,
still-
and
you
I'm
were
being
still
put.
wearing his 10-year-old Memphis T-shirts.
Yeah. All right. I realize we're talking on top of each other, but on buckpower.com, you can find the 1982 playoff game with the Dallas Cowboys where Doug is 8 for 28 with 4 interceptions.
Yikes.
I don't
Chalk that up to
remember
the Doomsday
in the
defense, not to him.
Paul, help me. I don't remember in the 2001 playoffs or the 2021 playoffs and the 2022 playoffs that Tom Brady had an 8 for 28 with 4 interceptions. Do I remember that
He
correctly?
did have 3 interceptions against the Packers, though. If
He
I'm not
did.
mistaken. Yeah.
He did in that
One
game.
half.
Did they? Yeah. Did he win that game?
They won that game. Yeah.
Did he
It
throw
was a
like
good-
4 touchdowns on the road and win that game?
Yeah, he did. He did.
I'm just checking on that.
All right,
I'm just
Paul.
saying both of y'all are wrong.
Joining us,
Brad
I
Johnson.
had to subject you to TJ here at the end. We're going to take a quick break. TJ is going to come back on the other side, and we're going to talk about the night practice last night.
I have
which is
much
very-
love for my man Scoop. Buckpower.com rules.
We love it. All right, quick break. We'll come back on the other side. We're brought to you by the great folks at Italiano. He got the last word. Italiano Insurance, 813-877-7799. Make sure you are fully insured. 40% of you are not. And that means you have to have insurance up to the level of replacement of your home. Make sure you have that. Italiano Insurance will do all that for you. All you got to do is call them. A human being will answer the phone and be very cordial to you and speak great English and make it very, very easy for you. ItalianoInsurance.com. Back in 3. Stay with us. Hey, JP here for my concierge medical professional, Chris Lugo, PA. You've heard him on the show for a couple of years where he shares invaluable medical, nutritional, and supplement advice. With Chris, it's like having a medical provider as your best friend. What I love about this concierge service is the convenience and support he offers. I can text or call him 24/7 with any questions or concerns, and he'll promptly call in a prescription if needed. No office visits or copays required. It gives me peace of mind knowing I have someone genuinely invested in my health, not just focused on insurance profits. And the best part, the Bay Area Modern Medical Center's personal concierge service is more affordable than you might think. Don't let insurance companies dictate your health care. Take control of your health and wellness today. Visit BAMMC.com for more information and to schedule your initial free consultation. Empower yourself and take charge of your personal health with BAMMC.com. Hey, JP here for the Gold and Diamond Source. And you know I'm always trying to find ways to save you money or make you money. Well, here's a great idea from Julie and Steve Weintraub at the Gold and Diamond Source. Gold is at an all-time high, so if you bring in your old jewelry, Steve and Julie will buy it off you and offer you the highest trade-in values of the year. It's the perfect time to upgrade what you're not wearing into something you'll never want to take off. So take advantage of that right now. The custom engagement rings to birthstones, tennis bracelets, diamond studs, whatever's on your wish list, the Gold and Diamond Source can make it happen. And did you know they also have the largest selection of any men's jewelry in the area? A great new section there. Check that out. They have free services like free settings, free cleanings, free appraisals, all that stuff right there at the Gold and Diamond Source. Family owned and trusted for over 40 years. Great folks over there. We love promoting these great local companies. None better than the Gold and Diamond Source. 3800 Ulmerton Road, always online at thegoldendiamondsource.com. JP here for the Jeeves Law Group and my man Scott Jeeves. If you're going to hire an attorney, do you want some guy looking for a quick settlement and a quick buck, or do you want an attorney with some chops? Scott is a board-certified civil trial lawyer and a certified circuit court mediator. Been practicing in the Tampa Bay area for over 30 years. He is a peer-reviewed AV preeminent rated civil trial lawyer. They just don't hand out those classifications. He's been the lead class action counsel on many complex consumer protection cases and has handled hundreds of serious personal injury cases. He's dedicated his career to protecting injured victims and is committed to vigorously representing you. We're local, we're trusted, and we get results. Personal injury and personal attention. Call for a free case evaluation. That's 888-9-JEEVES. That's 888-9-JEEVES. The Jeeves Law Group. Summer is coming. Do not get caught with your unit unprepared. your AC unit, of course. The awesome folks at Third Generation Plumbing and AC have a special going on right now. You get a free 1-year maintenance package with any purchase of a new unit. They have special 60-month financing as well, so you don't need a huge chunk up front. Third Generation has an impeccable reputation built over 30 years of doing business. They do plumbing, AC, mechanical work, anything you need around the house. They are trusted folks. Go to the website and read the 5-star reviews. Deidre said, great company that always arrives timely. We have used them for our AC both in home and business and have been very happy. The staff is knowledgeable and professional. I would recommend Third Generation again and again. So give Third Generation a call at 813-961-8024 or go to thirdgenerationplumbing.com.
Ciao, Paolo Tini here, owner of Caffè Paradiso, voted number 3 People's Choice Award on Open Table. I want to thank all our loyal family of customers that have been enjoying our great traditional Italian dishes we make from scratch every day. It's a great family story we're proud of. Our family moved from Rimini, Italy in 1984. My dad, Caesar, started Donatello, and that's where I got the start in the restaurant business. I started Caffè Paradiso on South McDill in 1995, and we've been there ever since. From our traditional ossobuco, a veal slow roast for 4 hours, to our daily fresh catch, the Gruppo Paradiso, with a piccata sauce and lobster claw meat, homemade pasta like lasagna, farfalle salchicha, which is a bow tie pasta homemade with fresh sausage. Hold on a minute, JP's favorite.
I love it.
So come and have a glass of wine with me on South McDill. Get a reservation on Open Table and see all our 5-star reviews. Ciao, see you soon at Paradiso.
Let's go.
Right now, back to the show on FanStream Sports.
All right, welcome back to the JP Peterson Show, brought to you by the Gold and Diamond Source. Gold has never been higher, folks. So take in your former gold Guido chain with the Italian horn that you got sitting in that jewelry box, because you just can't throw it away because you're a sentimental hoarder. I know all about that. So bring all that gold down to the Gold and Diamond Source, your doubloons, the old earring you used to wear. Yeah, remember that one? Bring it all down there, and they'll pay you cash. Or you can just shop right there and get something great that you will love forever. So head on down to the Golden Diamond Source. And, of course, if you're looking to get that diamond, that one-of-a-kind diamond, they are the best place to shop. Great staff over there, and they will not try to sell you something you don't need. And get a real diamond, folks. Don't get a fake one. Bad way to start your relationship. The Gold and Diamond Source. No better place. Head on over there. About 20 minutes from downtown Tampa, just over the bridge. Gold and Diamond Source, 3800 Ulmerton Road. All right. Welcome back to the JP Peterson Show here for our second hour. We're going to get into the Bucs big time. Our friend TJ Rives is here with us as well. Tim Ham from our Dallas studio, kicking in the background as well. So, TJ, thoughts on last night's night practice? Bowles did not turn on the air conditioner for all the suite holders that were there.
Yeah, that was interesting. There last night. First of all, much love to our man Paul Stewart. Free plug for buckpower.com. Do I have that fully in the shot there? Yep. A great resource. We love it. He's like doing a show off the air with me right now. I'm like, babe, I got to talk to JP. Enough. I mean, you've been talking for 30 minutes. Enough.
Not stop.
So we love Paul Stewart. So love the debates about the all-time team, etc. But you want to talk about the night practice last night. It was good to be there. Good to be there with you. And what was it? About 4,000 plus of our closest friends. Indeed. And about 30 minutes into the practice, I'm like, are we trying to simulate the outside conditions here in the indoor facility a little bit?
Yes.
Maybe, maybe that was the head coach trying to do some of that last night. I don't know. Great turnout. I mean, relative, there was season pass members invited, and we got to see some different things throughout for what it's worth. I've shared this with you. I'm not trying to be elitist with this, but after I sat there in the 90s and the early 2000s, and we're going back a ways, every single day watching practice after practice after practice, if you've been to a training camp practice, you've pretty much been to all the training camp practices. The fans are going to ooh and ah when somebody makes a great catch. Somebody makes a great pick. What was it? Benjamin Morrison, the rookie, made a great leaping. Everybody oohs and ahs at that. The quarterback overthrows a long ball, and goes up from the kicker's going to kick one wide left from 52 yards out, and when the kicker misses. So if you've been there, unless they're going 11 on 11 in full pads and hitting, which is rare, They did a little bit last night, but it's rare unless you're practicing with another team like what they're doing next week with the Titans. That's a little different. I understand the fans want to get close to it and want to be around it, but there's only so much you can glean from practice and a workout and drills and that kind of thing. That being said, it was still good to be back out there and see some of the new guys and watch some of this go on, for sure.
Yeah, that was very elitist of you. Absolutely, completely elitist of you.
Let me just share with you. After like
I come in here every day and give everybody the play-by-play of practice.
I understand, but you know what? You said, okay, hold on. Let's pull the curtain fully back to me. You said to me off the air, do you think I should be coming in here doing that on the show? And what did I say back to you in the text message? I'm watching you and your insight on it, and others want the insight because people work for a living during the day. Not everybody can get out there. So bravo if you want to be there. All I'm saying to you is when I was doing the morning show, sports radio morning show on the old 1010, which you remember, 1010 a.m., the sports radio station, and I had to be at Pep and Root Stadium to sit in the flaming hot tent without an air conditioner, barely even a fan, at 6:30 in the morning to be ready for the 7 o'clock show.
You sound better.
And after about the 10th consecutive weekday of doing that, please God, can we end training camp and the practices? I was just saying at that time, I don't need to be here every single day to watch all this. And it's interesting now in the social media age, you can keep track of everything that's going on. Plays that happen in practice, interviews with players. You can see what's going on, not just in Buccaneer camp, but all over. I mean, Timmy, you can keep up with the Cowboys camp. You can see what the Packers are doing. You can see what the Seahawks and the Chiefs and the Patriots and the Jets and the Jaguars and all of
this, Teach. Just like in high school and college, I never cheated off anybody else's paper, even though I could have, because I didn't trust them. And no disrespect to other members of the media, but I don't always trust their evaluations of certain.
On the evaluations, I agree with you.
And what I see, and I go out there and I see guys. I see the way they move. I see the way they practice. I see a lot. I think I pick up a lot of different things.
I know you do.
Some of it is a misnomer, to be quite honest. Sometimes you'll see a guy have a great camp and you'll go, and then he gets to where the real bullets are coming, and it's
exactly right.
And it's a totally different deal. And you'll see that with wide receivers, especially guys that know they're not going to get hit in practice, and when the real games come, they kind of shy away, so to speak. So but you got to take that into perspective. And I love going out there and watching the guys one-on-ones and working along the offensive and defensive lines, watching defensive backs. I think you can pick up a lot of different stuff. That's why I go. And I'll also say this: it's a lot more fun watching a contending team than it is some of the teams you watched.
Amen. On that, with having
then it's a complete waste.
I mean, you just jogged me. I still remember when you talk about teams practicing together. This is the old school of 2-a-days in the heat, and the Buccaneers are practicing with the Miami Dolphins. And this is Sam Weich and the Buccaneers. And I believe at that point, I don't think it was Jimmy Johnson yet for the Dolphins. So this still may have been Shula and the Dolphins, like 94, 95, something like that. And the same kind of scenario where I'm over in the tent right beside the track at Pep and Root Stadium, University of Tampa.
Yeah.
And, the Buck players are staying in the University of Tampa dorms, which was always interesting. And we go over and do the media stuff over in the cafeteria.
Didn't fit.
Yeah, nobody fit on the beds. They had
beds,
barely working AC in the rooms.
Right.
And so, but anyway, after like the second practice, the Dolphins and the Buccaneers had no use for each other anymore and no use for the heat, and the fights would start.
Yeah.
And so I'm on the radio, and at that time I was doing the afternoon show. I'm on the afternoon show for the afternoon practice, and here comes a full-on scrum brawl right towards the tent where we are. And I'm like Howard Cosell or Marv Albert or whoever else calling boxing going, okay, Hardy Nickerson is locked up with Keith Jackson, not the announcer. Keith Jackson, the tight end.
Nelly.
Nelly. Hardy got a good right in. Okay, they're fighting again. Now it's, whoever. And Dave, I still remember Dave Wannstedt ran from the other side of the practice field over in the middle of the fight, screaming, and they're blowing whistles and trying to break it up right in front. And I'm like, this is what it's all about. This is not drills. This
Finally,
is not
some action.
Drop it. I need something with some fights and So
if Dave Wannstedt was there, that had to be the Jimmy era then, right?
It probably was the Jimmy Johnson. It probably was the Jimmy Johnson era, late 90s, because you're right, Wannstedt wouldn't have been there. So this would have been Weich. I think it was Weich, or it might have been Tony Dungy's first year, because the Bucs were still in the orange in 96. I still remember that the Buccaneer guys were clad in the orange. The Dolphin guys were clad in white and practicing. And wow. Yeah. So that brings back
different time.
That brings back the, and I had another occasion. You love these stories where we're out there at 6:30 in the morning. All right. So this is in the late 90s at Pep and Root Stadium.
What's going on at 6:30 in the morning?
Not much at all. I'm there with the radio engineer. There's no fans there yet. The first practice is not till like 8:30 in the morning. This is the Dungy era, late 90s. And all of a sudden, there's these two guys in three-piece suits with earpieces and sunglasses, and one of them has got an automatic cannon under his jacket and with his arm. And he goes, "Who are you guys?" And I said, "We're the radio guys here doing the radio show. I'm about to be on in 10 minutes. He goes, United States Secret Service. Are these guys cleared to be here?" He identifies himself. Somebody holds up. He says, "United States Secret Service. Are these guys cleared to be here?" And somebody, I don't know who it was, said, "Yeah, they're the radio guys here doing a radio show whenever people finally show up and the players show up." Well, it turns out Bill Clinton, the president, was coming to the practice, was coming that morning. This was the advanced team. The advanced team is all over Pep and Root Stadium and across the street and looking at buildings across the way. And by
back when they used to do that stuff for presidents.
Yes, apparently don't do that anymore.
Different era.
Don't really do
Secret Service.
Yeah, don't worry about the guy on the roof. He's good. Don't worry about it. He's with the radio team.
He's doing a radio show up there.
He's
with
clear.
a gun. Yeah, we're good.
So I vividly remember, and this is before any fans got there, and then they basically were giving the full body search to anybody that came in Pep and Root Stadium after that. For him to show up at the practice to like wave, for Bubba to, "Hey, buddy," and wave and go shake Tony Dungy's hand and be at practice or whatever. I still remember that.
Hey, why don't you go give me that swashbuckler over there?
Yeah, exactly.
That
and it was legendary when this would happen, that they would shut down the area for the traffic for the presidential motorcade and create a total log jam every which direction for half an hour or 45 minutes just for the president and the presidential motorcade to get in. So you just jogged me on
great story there.
That's easily a 25. I thought I was going to be on the ground with my hands on top of my head with a guy questioning my nationality and whatever else I was doing, all because I'm there trying to do the radio show in the dark before the practice begins at Buccaneer
training. So you don't want to talk about Shiloh Sanders' big hit from last night?
That was him, right? That put the pop on, and we saw Shiloh out there. Yeah. We saw, I mean, obviously Emeka Ibuka, to your point, on watching one-on-one and watching with routes. He looks like the real deal Holyfield, speaking of boxing.
Yeah, he does.
I mean, he is big. He is obviously a route runner and talented, and there is a lot Buccaneer fans to get excited about just from the standpoint of potential. Again, we don't know. Once you get into games and you see NFL speed and game speed, look at Jalen McMillan, who came in at the beginning of last year. And if you remember, in the first game with the Commanders, he had a large game as the rookie out of Washington playing wide receiver. But after that, teams began to kind of play him a little tougher, angle of safety towards him. He had more trouble getting open, and he went for a while before he began to make an impact about the back half of the season, the last 6-8 games. And boy, did he come on down the stretch. So these are the things that can happen with rookies at these different positions. So I'm with you. There's optimism. There's things you can go out and watch and see.
You'll love this. You'll love this comment.
Yeah.
You're going to love this comment.
Please.
Bucs Basement, Mr. Negativity, says Mayfield was 5 of 16 last night with 2 interceptions.
He was charting the passes.
Somebody was. That's not good by any standard. Even once in camp, the practice was at night, and while Baker's record when playing at night with the Bucs is 1-7. So
So he's attributing it to that.
Yeah. First of all, Baker looked great last night. In my mind,
There were some good throws.
He was showing off his arm. He rolled out. He got flushed out of the pocket one time. He's rolling to his right, and he throws a dart to Mike Evans in between three defenders. I don't know how the hell he threw that ball in there, and they all collided.
The window was literally this.
While he's running full speed away from Elijah Roberts.
And he got it in the window.
And then the guys collide, and then he walks into the end zone. And there was the first play of 11 on 11. He rips one to Mike Evans. And I'm telling you, he threw it from the 15 to the other 45. So about 40 yards on a line. I mean, on a line.
Yep.
But up where Ben Morrison, where he could catch it. And you're just like, that's elite. That is elite arm strength. Now, the next play, Ben Morrison with J-Mac running the same route, who didn't adjust the route. Mike did. And that's the difference. You know, when Mike
and Morrison made the leaping interception.
That made a leaping interception.
Yeah.
That kid, now again, going out there and watching practice for a week and watching OTAs, I'm here to tell you, Ben Morrison is going to be a factor and maybe starting sooner than later over, I don't know, it's going to be Zion or where he's going to be starting, but that kid is special. At least I see special in him.
We know this. He's got pedigree. His father played in the NFL and actually played with Todd Bowles for a couple of seasons. He played at Notre Dame. He played in the college football
freshman,
and he played well in the college football playoff, going head to head against who? Emeka Egbuka in one of the playoff games. That was the championship game, right? Notre Dame and Ohio State. So, we're anxious to see what he can do. I was looking at the new left tackle at Heck, who's number 77, who's big. Again, how much can you glean from training camp practice?
What'd you think? I'm watching him all this week. Here's what I think. And I've watched him in some individual drills. He's more athletic than I thought at 6'8", 315. His feet are better than I thought. I think he's more than serviceable. I think he may be an upgrade on schoolie, whatever you want to call him. I think the coaches think that, and I think I'm not going to say they're going to.
Obviously, they do. He's taking first team reps. To your point, so
and I don't think he's not Tristan Wirfs, obviously, and you're going to have to help him in certain situations. But in his run blocking, watching him pull, he moves people. He moves.
Yeah, because you said to me last night he's got great feet. He's got great. I didn't know if you were complimenting me or if you were talking about the guy on the field. But he's got great feet. Great feet. You kept saying that.
Yeah.
So. We'll see. We'll know more with the Titans practice next week, and then with whomever plays in the opening preseason game for this. But it is a process. It is a process for some of these guys to get acclimated. You have new players. You've got Hassan Reddick, who I didn't see him much at all. I don't even know if he was out there much at all last night.
I don't know if he was doing 11 on 11 last night.
They're going to bring these guys, for a lot of these guys, and they're veterans, they're going to bring them along slowly because you're killing them. You're killing them in the heat with the workouts as it is. And you don't want to, this is a common sense thing. You don't want to burn them up where you got nothing left the second week in October. So it is a long season. And, but it was good. It was good to see a lot of that last night and get the juices flowing and know that the real games are going to be here in about 5 weeks, which we can't wait. For all of that to happen, and here we go.
The opener at Atlanta, and if that don't get you going, if you're a Buccaneer player, I mean, that to me, when I saw the schedule, I was like, yes, that'll get their attention rather quickly. And and to me, it's the matchup that I wanted to see most in terms of this. They got beat by them last year two times,
correct.
And I think the issue of this team is they need a killer mentality. They shouldn't lose to teams like that. They should not lose to teams like the Falcons. And if you take care of the teams you're supposed to beat, you're going to win 11, 12 games this year if you're the Buccaneers. So to me, it's go do it.
My attitude with them is you're ultra familiar with them. They're ultra familiar with you. And these games are worth 1.5 because they're head to head, and you probably should have won both of the games last year. You definitely should have won the game in Atlanta on the Thursday night, but you didn't finish it off. You had 3 chances to finish it off and didn't finish it off and ended up in overtime with Kirk Cousins beating you. So, yeah, you're right. And this is the point in time where I will mention for the first of many times, Todd Bowles has won the opening game over and over and over again, including on the road, all 3 years. So year number 4, get them ready. Do what you've been doing. Get them ready and go grab one in Atlanta that establishes the tone for the 2025 season by winning a division game on the road. And I'm with you. It's not going to be easy in the first 2 weeks here to go on the road at Atlanta and then have to reload and play a Monday night game against a playoff team in Houston.
Yeah, without Godwin.
Thank you very much, NFL schedule maker. How many years in a row do the Bucs have to win the division where they don't get a home game in the first 2 games? Okay. Well, we just digressed for a second. Finally, the Buccaneers get a Thursday night home game after 4 of the last 5 and the last 3 in a row being on the road while winning the division over and over and over. Can we not get a home Thursday night game out of that deal? Kansas City's played at home on Thursday night like 9 years in a row, but they don't pay attention to these things.
Come on now.
On the advantage.
But in any event,
we're
still the Buccaneers.
You agree to some. I mean, they're the only NFC team. Sorry, Timmy. The only NFC team that's been in the playoffs the last 5 years. Not the Dallas Cowboys. Back Timmy catching strays here on a Wednesday. Back to your point though, do you not agree with me? That's not going to be easy back-to-back Atlanta and then Monday night at Houston to come out of that.
No, listen, none of it is easy in this league, especially when you're playing a first place schedule like the Bucs have played the last couple of years. So none of it is easy. Schedule changes as the season goes on in terms of what you thought it was going to be. Guys get injured and your team gets injured. You got to be able to manage through it. But, the first 4 games now take on a completely different tone without Tristan Wirfs, we think. And, looking at him on crutches in a full leg brace is not good. It just gives me the heebie-jeebies, to be quite honest. But
I'm with you. Give it some time. Give it some time. He's young.
He'll be back.
There'll be a better assessment probably in a couple of weeks on what's the timeline. But I said this before with you, Buck fans, let's just be realistic and be honest. All right. Rather than rushing him back to try to play in a week 3 home opener or to play week 4 with the Eagles.
Right.
I would rather he not play in any of those first 4 games if it all but guarantees that he's fully healthy for the last 13 games.
Right.
If I have the trade-off of you can't have him for the first 4, but you're going to have him a full go starting in game 5, I take that right now. Would you not take that right now?
Absolutely. 100%.
Yeah.
And at this point, give me to 2-2 in the first quarter. I'll take it without those guys. I'm fine with that. 1-3, I'll choke on it a little bit. 0-4 is unacceptable, and 3-1 would be.
Awesome. You got to have a high confidence level right now in this part of the situation. If you go beat Atlanta, all right, no matter what happens in Houston, yes, it'll be a shorter week. You've got the Jets, who are one of the bottom 4 or 5 teams in the NFL at home, and you got to win that game, and you are going to win that game. I'm just saying that right now. So now you come out of the first 3 weeks and you're 2-1. You're fine. You're fine with whatever goes on against Philadelphia. That's not going to define your season. Mm-hmm. So that's why we come back to what you're saying. That opener with Atlanta that you're going to point towards is very important. It's not everything, but it's
I think
huge, right off the bat.
And again, if this might be, a misnomer, might be a head fake, but this defense to me looks tremendous in terms of its improvement. Okay, we're going to wait till the real bullets fly. But I know this offense is good. I know it's good. And when I watch them practice and go 1v1, you know what I see? I see a lot tighter coverage. I don't see the middle wide open. I don't see some of the deficiencies. I see a great pass rush. I see a lot of good things defensively, and I know this offense is good, and I know they're trying. So to me, it tells me this defense has picked it up tremendously. And but we got to see it in the games. We got to see it in the game.
Well, and you get Servassier Dennis. You get Servassier Dennis back in the middle who can run. He's not the biggest guy. You need him to stay healthy to be there next to the ageless wonder, the future Hall of Famer Levante David. And again, what kind of impact does Hassan Reddick make, not only with his own numbers, his own pressures, sacks, but the fact that he's freeing up other people because you've got to double team him and pay big attention to him.
It's a game changer.
He's going to be highly motivated. You were talking with Paul Stewart with Scoop there about Shaq Barrett. And Shaq Barrett was completely unheralded coming here. Nobody knew that name. Let's don't revise history.
Nope.
He had basically
backed
been
up
cast
Von
off.
Miller. He backed up Von Miller for 3 years.
And he had been cast off by Denver as you're just a guy.
Yeah, $4 million.
And boy, did we get a tremendous, highly motivated pass rusher. I don't know to what extent Hassan Reddick can make an impact, but if it's anything like that, look out on what it means for Diaby and Braswell, Anthony Nelson, whomever else on the other side of whenever Reddick is in there.
Yep. No, I agree. All right, my friend, we've taken up too much of your time. Go back.
No, it's all it's all good.
Yeah.
When are we getting to the golf course? First of all, it's got to be below 173 heat index.
I invited you out for tomorrow.
I know, and I'm not able to be there tomorrow, but we got to get to the golf course when it is below 150 heat index.
Well, that'll be December.
October. Maybe October, but we got to go hit a golf ball at some point.
Let's do it.
We got the season coming for the NFL and college football whenever you need me. I love it. I look forward to being back out there in and around training camp. In the meantime, you boys be well. Football all about to be here.
Oh, it's here.
Can't wait.
Here,
lunch on.
All right. Thank you, TJ. Appreciate it. At
Good to be with you, boys.
Sideline Guy on Twitter. Follow him. All right. We'll take another break, and then we'll come back and get to your wonderful comments. We got hundreds of comments coming in, and we'll get to a couple other stories we need to get to. Some Hulkamania news, some DJ Lagway news at Florida.
I heard he died.
Sydney Sweeney news.
Oh, I'm in for that.
And hopefully some pictures from you.
I can give you all the pictures you want of Sydney Sweeney. They're on my phone.
And sex toys being thrown on the WNBA courts.
Yes.
You know, we got to talk about that. All right. Stay with us. Quick break. JP here for Riveters, the official sports bar and grill of the JP Peterson Show. We're located just south of Ray J and Steinbrenner Field, so it's a great pre- and post-game spot, and the happy hour is amazing. Monday through Friday, 3 to 7. Check out these specials. $3 Bud Light drafts, $4 domestic bottles, $5 wells, $6 premium wells, $6 cocktails like margaritas. That's unheard of. And the Riveters food is freshly made daily. No freezers. Happy hour food specials include $3.50 tacos and barbecue sliders. $6 you get edamame or chips with the beer cheese, which is amazing. $8 buffalo chicken dip, my favorite. The truffle fries, chili cheese fries, also $8 at happy hour. As well as other specials throughout the week, including Taco Tuesdays, you get $3 tacos, and Wing Wednesdays, 7 o'clock to 1 a.m. in the morning, you get our amazing wings, 5 for $5 and $5 wells and wines. That's a good Wednesday night. So if you're tired of the preppy, overpriced, generic sports bars, come see the amazing, friendly bartenders and staff at Riveters, where customer service really matters. Riveters, just south of where the Rays and Bucs play. We'll see you there. Going through a medical emergency without health care insurance can cause you to go into crippling debt. In most scenarios, people are forced to either break into their retirement funds or worse, they're forced to file for bankruptcy. The sad truth is that health care insurance is crucial in today's day and age. Look, I get it. Many of you think you're never going to get sick and health insurance is really expensive. Well, we can help you out with that. Depending on your income, we can find great plans at huge discounts. God forbid you get cancer, a car accident. It could literally ruin you financially for life. So make the call and find out. Even though the open enrollment period is over, you may have some qualifying life events that can help you get covered right away. It can be very complicated, a very intimidating process, but we can help. Go to our website and check out all the 5-star reviews about our helpful agents. Go to don'tgouncovered.com or call 800-669-1505. That's 800-669-1505. Spring means a time of renewal and Rays baseball, and the folks at Italiano Insurance want to welcome the Rays to Tampa and remind you it's time to renew those insurance policies with the now famous Italiano Insurance Checkup. Let the experienced and friendly agents shop your policy for the best price and coverage. Famous for saving me over $1,000 on our auto insurance last year and over $500 on our homeowners. Now that's a grand slam. Might as well get a double play by adding flood insurance and business insurance to your portfolio. Costs less than you think, and trust me, you do not want to risk your home or personal wealth. That's a big whiff. So step up to the plate and call 813-877-7799 and chat with the all-star agents at Italiano Insurance. 813-877-7799 or go to ItalianoInsurance.com. Go Rays! JP here for my friend Jason Fawcett, owner of On-Site Construction. They do residential and commercial renovations and new construction. As a leading home builder and general contractor, On-Site Construction prides itself on transforming homes through superior craftsmanship, dedication to client vision, and an unmatched commitment to quality and service. It's about building relationships. We take the time to understand our clients' needs, preferences, and budgets so that we can deliver a personalized experience tailored to their unique vision. From the initial designs to the final touches, we're there every step of the way, ensuring that the end result mirrors your vision. Here are some testimonials from happy customers. G. Gibson says, no hidden costs, very honest, reliable, creative, and communicates well. Reasonable and fair with their pricing, no hidden costs. C. Smith said, did not disappoint. I'm very happy with the work. This company really cares and will take care of it. So if you're just thinking about building or renovating, give us a call and let's see what's possible. 813-579-5789 or check out our website at onsiteconstructionfl.com. Are you having legal issues with a business partner or other legal business issues? The attorneys at Walters, Levine & DeGrave can help. Call 800-616-0384 for a free consultation. At Walters, Levine & DeGrave, we've redefined what a law firm can be with top-tier attorneys, personal service, and 26 years of success. From business law to civil litigation, we deliver smart, client-focused solutions. Walters, Levine & DeGrave recently won a $6.4 million jury verdict from a large real estate developer, and they can win for you too. Walters, Levine & DeGrave. Let's solve it together. Not attorney spokesman. For a free consultation, call 800-616-0384 or go to walterslevine.com. Offices Tampa, Sarasota.
Let's go.
Right now, back to the show on FanStream Sports.
All right, welcome back to the JP Peterson Show, brought to you by Cafe Paradiso. Man, I could use a meal at Cafe Paradiso. I think you know what? Tonight could be a good night. Stop by on a little Wednesday night, little hump day, sit there at the bar with all the lovely people. Paula will come over and talk my ear off about Bucs stuff. Yes. It's such a great gathering of local folks, too. And the food is just tremendous. It's really just kind of one of those hometown places that you go, that you get great food, great service. You love being there. You see all your friends. It's a beautiful place. Cafe
I haven't been since October, JP. It's been too long.
You know, you keep promising to come here, and help out, but you don't.
I'm aware.
You don't come. Just leave us here.
You're just the next one in line of a long line of disappointments for me.
That's why there won't be a TV behind me for like 8 years, because you won't come here. Put it up. Depend on me to do it. That's what's going to happen. That's how it works.
You'll put it up.
It'll be hung on an angle. Something like. Head on over to Cafe Paradiso. We love the folks over there. All right, yeah, I was just perusing Twitter, and evidently there's a blowback, about people talking about practice, and covering practice, kind of like TJ just did.
Yeah,
but he's right to a point that it becomes ridiculous, when you're like going, oh, Baker Mayfield was 5 for 16 and he doesn't play well at night, and no, that's not a thing. And that's why I don't necessarily keep stats and those numbers, because quarterbacks are forcing the ball. I mean, there were at least 2 throws last night that Baker threw, both the picks that he threw, that I don't think he's throwing that ball in a game. It's just he's working on stuff, and sometimes it's for the receiver. Sometimes the coaches say throw the ball. We want to see what how the receiver is going to react, how the DB is going to react, because in practice, we know Baker Mayfield's a really good quarterback. He's not fighting for a job, but they want to see how does Ben Morrison or Jacob Parrish, how does he react in a combat situation with Mike Evans, where he's going up for the ball. If the quarterback just eats it, you get nothing done, so you got to keep it in perspective. And I try to tell you every time I talk about practice, this is my subjective viewpoint. It's not right. It's not wrong. It's just my subjective viewpoint. And again, I don't know what the calls are. We don't know exactly what's going on, but I'm just trying to be your eyes and ears and say, this is what we see. And I try to put that, that preamble out there every time we do it or every time we tweet stuff out. It is what it is. But I think it's better than nothing. And I think it's, for what we do, it's important. And I think people want to hear about it. They want to see it. So we do it. People are bananas over this stuff. They're bananas, and I asked, TJ and I ask my compatriots, is it too much? I ask you guys all the time, would you rather hear me talk about other stuff? So, and that's why we go to the comments like we're doing right now to see what people want to talk about. So away we go, Timmy.
I'm ready.
You ready? All right.
By the
Nathan
way,
Elliott.
I'm showing Baker Mayfield with a 52-54 primetime record.
52-54. I think 1-7 as Buccaneers. That sounds about right.
Yeah, I don't have
We've not been good at primetime. I think we were 0-4 last year. So, listen, I don't think there's anything to that, to be quite honest. I don't think, as to your point, 52-54. That's, and you got to look at the teams he was on. Nathan Elliott says the JP Peterson Show needs to broadcast from Rivers after Bucs practice tomorrow. Friday, we're not going to do a noon to 2 show. We're just going to do one show and it's 5 to 7. So I was going to do it. I said, should we do 2 shows? I'm like, nah, doing a noon to 2 and then a 5 to 7. That seems a little weird. So I'll cover Friday's practice and then we'll be there from 5 to 7. So just a programming note. I know we're kind of a little all over the board here, but it's, this is not for those who want to take it in live. We love you and thank you very much for doing so. But mostly this is for the masses who consume it post live, which is, I don't know what the ratio is, but obviously we got a ton of podcast hits and a lot of people go back and watch it later. So, and that's the beauty of it. It's just not like terrestrial radio where you got to go listen to it right then with, 10-minute commercial breaks. Good luck with that. Richie Rich says primetime beatdown of the Eagles 2 years ago in the playoffs. That's right. That's right.
I mean, Baker was 1-0 in prime time with the Rams.
There you go. So what does that mean?
Yeah.
Speaking of big-chested blondes men adore, the Hulkster and Sydney Sweeney. Yes. So have you seen this Sydney Sweeney quote controversy? My Lord.
I don't get it at all.
So and I actually read an article like this. I don't know why I did this on MSNBC because it comes up on my feed here. And it was like, this is Nazi propaganda because they're saying she has great genes, genes, and she's a blonde-haired, blue-eyed woman. And they're clearly promoting, and this is part of the Trump administration white supremacy movement.
I don't get it.
No.
What's wrong with people?
Tits. Okay? That's the analysis. All right? There's your analysis. You want analysis? That's what they mean by good genes. She's beautiful and she's got a great body.
Boy, does she.
Yeah, and I would, we would say the same thing about Serena Williams.
Yeah.
I believe we have said, and they've done ads about her genetics, which are amazing. And Venus, and pick your incredible female athlete. I mean, come on. I mean, that's where, and this is like a controversy because it's American. She had a flag behind her too. Oh my God. When did it get weird to be pro-American flag? Like, when did it become offensive?
Whenever we started letting people burn them without any type of repercussions.
Come on. Unbelievable. So yeah.
By the way, here is
the thing. That's
full
so
ad.
offensive. Yeah. Yeah. That's offensive to people. Like, how far do you have to go? How much do you have to hate white people? I mean, how much do you
talk about a stretch?
Can we just have some more love here? I mean, we got to get upset about this. Are you kidding me?
I don't get it.
Oh, I get it. I understand what it's all about.
I could look at that all day, though.
Yeah, I totally understand what it's about. And it's ridiculous. And people see through it now. I think, 5-10 years ago, you could get away with it. If a lot of stupid people bought into it.
Yeah.
But now even everybody's like, no, sorry. He's not likely a white person. The picture you just showed me, CNN. I mean, like, how stupid do you think we are? Good God. Nathan Ellie says the Buccaneer linebackers have looked solid. Love Servassier. And Levante David still got it. And even, some of the other linebackers, I know Anthony Walker, we saw him in OTAs. I love the way he looked. He'll be back. And Deion Jones, man, he's making plays. They're deep and inside linebacker. Like it. Animal says, what else we got? Agree with you 100%, TJ, on that. Doug Williams, Tom Brady, I think is what he was referring to. Bill Clinton was there to check out the Bucs cheerleader. You know he was. Those you call them the swashbucklers. Oh, they look great. They look great. Those are some nice pom-poms, girls. Love that. Love that. I'll take the third one from the right, Mr. Trooper. Yeah.
Mr. Secret Service, man.
Mr. Secret Service. Stop worrying about those radio guys. Go get me a swashbuckler or two. Hillary's not here.
Think Bill Clinton listens to Fan Stream Sports when he's in town?
If he doesn't, he does now.
He's about to.
Yeah. Richie Rich says, don't forget the playoff game against the Eagles 2 years ago at nighttime. Yeah, he's pretty good. He's pretty good in that. What else we got? Richie Rich, I haven't seen you in here, by the way. Welcome. We love you. Patrick Mahomes threw 7 interceptions during practice. Who won the MVP with a record-breaking year? Yeah, it's silly. That's why I try not to, when I make some of these observations in practice in Twitter, I try to give you a little bit, like Ben Morrison just made a pick. He's had a great camp. I love his ball skills are through the roof. That's what we've seen. So we try to give you kind of a little bit more conceptual stuff than just maybe, even though we're trying to do it's play-by-play. This is what we just did, and here's why it matters. Here's what we're seeing. So, all right, Buck Powers, you've said enough. Sam Weiss, Buccaneers were crazy. Yes, they were, Nathan. That was some interesting stuff. Michael LaRue says, Brooks and Sapp are great first-ballot Hall of Famers, but the greatest Buck will always be Leroy Selman. Mm-hmm. It's a good debate. It's a good debate.
Say Alvin Harper.
I got Derek Brooks and Rondé Barber. 1 and 1A. In either order you like. And that reminds
me of when I remember this when it happened. Of course, they reported on it here in Dallas. Back when before Jimmy it was after he quit the Cowboys, but he hadn't gone to Miami yet. And I guess it was Alvin Harper's first season, which was 96 or something in Tampa. Because he and Jimmy did not get along very well.
Yeah.
And I remember seeing something on the news about how, I guess, Sam Weiss brought in Jimmy Johnson and had him go into the locker room to announce to the team he was the new head coach of the Bucs, just to prank Alvin Harper.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Alvin Harper almost lost his S because of that, because he left Dallas because he was so sick of Jimmy, and then Barry took over. He was just sick of everybody in Dallas, and then Jimmy Johnson comes through the doors wearing his Bucs gear and everything, and he's like, I'm gonna shape this ship up, and went off on everybody. And Harper, you're my man, and
oh my God, I did not know that.
It was great.
I did not know that.
Let's see if I can find footage of that somewhere.
Cody asked, JP, are the Rowdies part of the Rays sale? Yes, they are. Yes, they are. And we still don't know where they're going to play. Still don't know where the Rays are going to play, but it's going to be in Tampa. Christopher Cole says, what about famous Jameis for the quarterback spot in the 50-year team? He just got edged out. Edged out. Michael LaRue said, from a production standpoint, trading for Keyshawn Johnson was one of the best moves in franchise history. He helped win a Super Bowl. Then he was flipped to Dallas for Joey Galloway. Yeah. The best thing about him was flipping for Joey Galloway. Now, Keyshawn, although I hate him tremendously, he was a dog. He was a physical blocker. He was a great possession receiver. He brought a little bit more stability to the room. Made some big plays, big first down guy, good red zone guy. But, man, was he a pain in the ass. Oh. And walked out on the team. Destroyed the Super Bowl team the year later just because he didn't like John Gruden.
Yeah.
Got news for you. There's a lot of guys that didn't like John Gruden. First name greatest. If Bowles knew how to scheme up pass defense or double cup, Bucs likely repeat. Doug was decent, but doesn't compare to Brady, I think is what he meant. Yeah, Todd Bowles will never he'll never live down that moment, cutting Cooper Kupp loose 2 times at the end of that, but he also had to give Cooper Kupp a little bit of credit. and Matthew Stafford. They're pretty good.
Yeah.
What else we got? Joe Forsland says Brady is the best quarterback of all time. 2 record seasons in Tampa. Those 2 facts alone put him 1 on the list. And it's hard to argue. I mean, it really is. But I'm just again from a historic Buccaneers list type thing. This is the only list you would ever put Doug Williams ahead of Tom Brady. It's the only list you would even think about it. So I totally get it. Michael LaRue.
Tom Brady even have been allowed to wear number 12? Like, I don't think he should have.
Oh, stop. Notice he didn't wear a creamsicle, though. Like, he wasn't having any of that. Michael LaRue says analytics is a tool, but the game has a heartbeat. You have to go with your gut sometimes. He's talking about the Rays and Kevin Cash. Madden used both. I would stick with the younger Cash and let him manage the team and not the front office. I think the new group, I think they're more. And I don't know a ton about but they've given me some framework stuff. They're going to spend more money and they want to keep Neander and Cash. So I don't think they want to touch the baseball side at all. Now, where does Joe Madden fit in there? He's back in Tampa, and I would make him part of my group. And I would. That's where I'd start with Joe Madden. Analytics versus baseball gut and knowledge. And I think Kevin Cash has a tremendous amount of baseball gut and knowledge, and maybe doesn't get to use it as much as he should. And I think Joe would rectify that from a organizational standpoint. I think we've gone too far one way on the analytics pendulum, and we need to swing back the other way, in my humble opinion. And Joe would do that 100%. I would have him involved in the organization in some way. I don't know if it's about, if Cash wants to stay on as manager, I think yes. But I think Joe would be very instrumental in terms of an organizational guy, setting the philosophy back more towards baseball and less analytics. Did that sound right?
Yeah.
Joe Forsland says it's camp with a new OC, new pieces at wide receiver. Relax. It's not even August, and talking about beating up on Baker Mayfield's stuff last night. It's just kind of silly.
You want to get to Johnny's picks before we?
Yes, absolutely. Thank you for reminding me.
Hit it. He couldn't come on today. He's playing in tournaments today in the heat up in freaking Missouri. 105 degrees. I had to play 36 holes.
Jesus. Wow.
Yeah,
I think you're riding in carts, or are they walking?
Walking.
Holy shizbang. Wow.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
But his 3 winners for the Wyndham Championship. Lucas Glover at 30-1, Denny McCarthy at 48-1, Sam Stevens, the very hot Sam Stevens right now, 50-1, and his long shot ham sandwich is Andrew Novak at 58-1, Bud Colley and Alex Smalley in the top 10, both at plus 750. Big value at plus 750 for both of those guys. Top 20, Andrew Putnam, plus 350, and Victor Perez at plus 450 for the Wyndham Championship there in Greensboro.
North Carolina.
Yeah, North Carolina. Sedgefield Country Club.
I live in
very
Greensboro
unstable par 70.
Yeah. They have some great courses in the Greensboro area.
They do.
Were they playing Sedgefield?
Sedgefield, yep.
Yeah, it's a beautiful spot. So many good courses.
You guys tune in to From the Rough with me and Johnny today, 5 o'clock Central, 6 o'clock Eastern.
Oh, he's going to make it for that, though. Okay.
Sports, yeah.
Good. How I know you guys, he went 2-0 Saturday in matchups. How'd we do Sunday?
He is now 50, 10, and 5 in matchups.
Holy shizbang. But he told me now he's doing, I didn't know this, but each book does separate matchups?
No. What do you mean?
Yeah. Like ESPN had ESPN. I guess he said he's using ESPN now. They're the ESPN bet.
Right. For
matchups. Like my bookie, my offshore folks have different matchups.
Yeah, it depends on where you go to who they match.
I didn't know that. I thought maybe
up.
PGA Tour set the matchups, but I guess they don't do that.
Yeah, that's why he started to specify where he's getting them from, so you can go find them if you want to.
So now I got to sign up at ESPN Bet, but we can't here in Florida. We can't use ESPN Bet, so we're stewed.
I mean, it's pretty rare that they differ, but they do differ sometimes. They don't always differ, but
Yeah, I don't know if is Hard Rock the same as ESPN. I'll check that out this weekend to make sure. So yeah, because you got to get in on that. Yeah. Before we go, Douglas Batista said, guys, not sure if I did the super chat correctly. Scan the QR code and transact it through PayPal. Yeah, super chats are different than the QR code, but you did it correctly, Doug. We got the nice $25 donation. We really appreciate that.
Thank you, Doug.
To independent sports radio. We love it. Even though it's not radio, it's live streaming. But
so super chats, if you're watching on YouTube and you go to the comment section, you'll see a little plus sign next to the bar where you type your chat in, and you can then do the super chat if you click on that. I think it's a plus sign to send a super chat, and then you pick whatever dollar amount you want to do it with. So,
well, thank you, Douglas Batista.
Yes,
real quick, I kind of teased the Hulk thing. There's a lot out there right now. When I was listening to Bubba, and he had Dr. Yako on there as well, who they obviously know the Hulk family and all that very well. And they were talking about all the surgeries that Hulk has had, and evidently he had a recent neck surgery.
Yeah, and
was really probably didn't rest as much as he should have, and had to have a resurgery. So I think a lot of the complications kind of led to that. Again, this is not fact, but speculation. And at 71 years old, we've seen Hulk recently, and he was in good form. So this kind of took a lot of people by surprise. I think we'll find out more as the weeks go on. But what a huge loss to the area, absolute giant of the business. And WWE did a video the other night for, I guess, Raw, Monday Night Raw, whatever it was, and I reposted that. Man, it was heartbreaking, but at the same time, it was just reliving some great memories. And I'm not a huge wrestling guy, but those were really, 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 really good. Well done.
Hulk Hogan transcended the wrestling scene. I mean, he just
really
pop culture icon for sure.
He was on with Johnny Carson. Yeah, the clip in there from Johnny Carson.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
And I miss Johnny Carson too.
Yeah, don't we all?
Late night TV ain't what it used to be.
No. I made a joke the other day about these umpires who are missing calls so badly. I said, this is how you get fired when you're this bad at your job. Just like Stephen Colbert. And people were like, you know what you're talking about, man. You got a great late night lady. Like, the show lost $40 million a year. Yeah. Are you kidding me? You suck at your job if your show loses $40 million a year being propped up by Big Pharma and all the rest of the crap. Sorry, you suck, Stephen Colbert. He used to be great. I loved Stephen Colbert when he was doing the Tonight Show or the late on Comedy Central.
Yeah.
And he said, I'm just going all in on Trump, and that's going to be my, or he was told to, and was paid handsomely to do so. And at some point, it's just like, sorry, nobody's laughing anymore. You're getting applause. And there's a certain segment that loves that, and that's fine. That's all good, but it's not mainstream. And the ratings sucked. And how do you lose $40 million a year and keep your job? Like, there's a reason for that, because somebody's paying you to do the agenda. Yeah. And at some point somebody said, that's enough. So we're done with this.
I never thought he was very funny. I've never got.
No, he was fantastic on Comedy Central. I thought.
I didn't watch that show a lot. Yeah.
Very talented. No, he's very talented. Comedic timing was great. And then he just decided to go in on this, and
he went scorched earth, and it cost him.
He made he made a shit ton of money, but he lost a lot too. Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah. If I was losing $40 million from my company, I don't think I would be considered doing a very good job.
So. It would not have taken me that long to get fired.
Exactly. But there's a reason they were paying him to do it. Yeah. Didn't work out. Didn't work in the end, did it? All right. Thank you guys for tuning in. We appreciate you. We will be back tomorrow. Tomorrow's Thursday, right? So that will be noon to 2 after Bucs practice. So we'll have the latest on that. And then on Friday, we will go 5 to 7 live remote at Riveters for happy hour and a Rays Dodgers watch party. So if you're going to the game, stop by and say hello. If you're going to come watch the game with us, let us know in the comments so I can reserve a couple of tables for the Petermans, and we'll all get together and drink some beer, have some great food, and watch the Rays and Dodgers. And you can meet the lovely Ashley. She's going to be stopping by. So we'll see you then.